Yajante satvika devan yaksha rakshansi rajasah pretan bhut ganashchanye yajante tamasa janah. Men in the mode of goodness worship the demigods, those in the mode of passion worship the demons, and those in the mode of ignorance worship ghosts and spirits. Because people are governed by varieties of modes of nature and their combinations, that is why there are varieties of religion and varieties of worship. Because as per the modes of nature people have, these faiths have been introduced to gradually bring them to transcendental faith. So how we can understand what kind of faith I am having? Goodness, passion or ignorance? That Lord Krishna is explaining here. In the mode of goodness, those who are sattvic, they worship the demigods, devatas. So devata worship, devatas are fact. It is not that they are imaginatory personalities which some people tell, and once you reach spiritual perfection, then you can forget these forms. No, that is the case with the impersonalists. So two kinds of people, they worship the devatas. One set is impersonalist, who are telling actually this world is entirely a dream, and as we have discussed previously, they tell you are not existing in the world is existing in your imagination. As soon as you are self-realized, your mind becomes purified, you will realize there are no varieties around, there is only consciousness. Just like in dream, the varieties are only because of illusion. So the impersonalists say you have to become detached from this material world and attached to spiritual platform. So how one can become attached to spiritual platform, which is simply an energy? We can get attached to people, personalities. So they tell you can imagine the personalities. Vishnu, Shiva, Surya, Durga, Ganesha. This is called Panchopasana. They recommend worship of these 5 demigods. So you can worship any form you like, but you understand these forms are imaginary. And that impersonal absolute truth has taken all these forms. So you can meditate on these forms because we cannot meditate on impersonal energy. So you meditate on these forms, and when you are absorbed in these forms, so much so that you become oblivious of the surroundings, then you can forget these forms also. You have to practice detachment even from these forms, because these forms are also not truth, but they are imaginary. But you can use them as a ladder to climb the wall, and then you don't carry the ladder along with you. Once you have climbed the wall, then you can leave the ladder, task is done. In a similar fashion, these demigods are like ladders, these forms. They may worship Vishnu, Krishna also, but for them, these forms are also imaginary. So you worship very nicely, and once you have reached the platform of liberation, then you become detached from these forms as well. There is another kind of personalities who worship the devatas for material benefit, not necessarily impersonalists. But they worship the devatas, they have faith that yes, devatas exist on their planets. But they worship the devatas for some material benefit. So we have to understand that this impersonalist theory is not fact. The world is not simply imagination, the varieties are not your hallucination, but the varieties are fact. That is why Lord Krishna has told, Bhumi, Rapo, Nalo, Vayu, Kham, Mano, Buddhir, Evacha. Earth, air, water, fire, sky, mind, intelligence, these are my energies. Krishna is not telling these are hallucinations. Only Brahma is energy. Yes, Brahma is energy. That Brahma transforms into Mahat Tattva, as Lord Krishna has described, and Mahat Tattva then further transforms itself into these 8 elements, 5 gross and 3 subtle. So earth, air, water, fire, sky, Krishna is telling these are real energies. These are my energies. This material world is not false, but it is temporary. This material body is not false, but it is temporary. Thinking that I am this material body is false. So material body is not false. The snake which we are seeing on the road is false, but something is there, that is rope. Rope we are perceiving as snake. So that is false, but substance, something is there. The way we are perceiving that is false. So this material body exists, made of Kapha, Pitta and Vata. But thinking that I am material body, that is false. This is the proper understanding. So impersonalists are in immature stage of spiritual understanding, but still they are in Sattva Guna. So these impersonalists and other materialists, they worship the Devatas. Then comes the next class, those who are in mode of passion. They worship demons and they worship some concocted gods. They are very expert in creating gods, making gods. After World War, there is a case, somebody was worshipping Hitler. Because of this war, his business grew so much that he started worshipping Hitler. Some people who are not able to understand the form of Supreme Lord, they deride temple worship, deity worship in the temples. But then, such people make the statue of their leader and they'll erect it on places of public meetings, and then they will put garlands and all such things. So in other way, they are also doing deity worship. But no, you cannot worship the deities in the temple, but worshipping the form of your leader, that you can do very nicely. So there are many such people who are worshipping celebrities, sportsmen. So such people are considered in the mode of passion, or some person who can show little magical power. I'll repeat. Or some person who can show little magical power. They give them god status. So concocted gods or worshipping demons, it comes in the mode of passion. Then there are some people who are in mode of ignorance. They worship ghosts and spirits. Especially in the villages in India you will find, and other places also, black arts, black magic. So in mode of ignorance, person wants to destroy other person. So they take to worship of ghosts. As soon as they come to know that ghost is living in this tree, they will go and start worshipping the tree, offer some sacrifice over there. So everybody is worshipping, but as per the modes of nature they have acquired.